What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment. And unfortunately, all streaks are made to be broken. So we did finally, we missed this last game here. As I went over, and it's not an excuse, it's just I find games 3 and 4 very interchangeable. I thought they might swerve it by having Heat instead of, Denver, Heat, Denver. But the Heat got beat pretty bad. They got beat by 15. And with this, I think the narrative's already set. I think it's the same narrative we've been talking about, that the Heat are quote, outclassed. So Denver loses, and then they respond by just pummeling the Heat, right? And two guys get a triple-double. And I believe they're going to start talking about the Heat are, the fact that they're basically going to rule them out. The fact that the Heat forced it to 5 now, by winning that game 2 is commendable. The Heat have to give it their all. They can't make any mistakes. And Denver can make mistakes because they have such a more stacked team. So I think that's going to be the narrative. I did think the Heat would go up 2-1. I thought it would make a little more sense, to be honest. But, again, at the end of the day, it's going to be 2-2. That's just how I foresaw it. So I had it the wrong way. But I don't think it's going to be 3-1. Again, I still have 100% conviction in the Heat. And to me, it doesn't make sense that 3-1, then they have to win in Denver, go back, win in Denver again. It's nice for an underdog, but I think they need to keep it believable. So somebody brought up something like, why is it still the same spread? I can't get on ESPN. I guess people broke ESPN. But, yeah, I mean, to that I say they did the same thing with Boston, to be fair. Like Boston. So the Nuggets, this game opened at 2 and closed at 3.5. And now this next game is opening around 3 points. So, people might say, well, they just clobbered them in Miami. It should be a 5-point spread. And like I said, Vegas doesn't really they don't change their spreads based off of the results of the games, because I think they already have the results. So, not loving this golden trophy here. No, all kidding aside, I do think that it just makes sense that Miami ties it up. So they play in 2 days. Game 4, I'm going to have Miami. That's who I like. Again, if anything changes, Hero might be cleared, he might not be cleared. I'll go into the any kind of reassessment. But as far as now, I think Miami just rebounds. Each will have split at home, and then it'll be a game 5. And like I had gone over, I really like the idea of Denver winning game 5. This is assuming Miami wins game. And then I do think Miami's going to win game 6 and 7. I've been thinking that for a while. I think it'll really show the clutch factor of Jimmy and these other guys. But yeah, I do think that tonight, again, is more going to just force the narrative. Now you had 2 guys who had a triple-double. Jimmy played. He looked good in the first half. I didn't, see him do anything nuts. But again, it's kind of hard when you are the only guy, and I think that's what they're trying to spin. So the Heat are, again, a live, die by the threes type of team. Next game, I expect them to probably hit their threes. And at this point, I can't imagine anybody is on Miami. So after that, game 2, the one thing I did say is if Miami wins again, then you might start getting people on Miami. Well, now there's going to be no one on Miami. So that could also be the reason. But it is interesting. The one thing I've noticed, and it's just a commonality with the series, we have 2 Florida teams going up against 2 Gold teams. So the Vegas Golden Knights and then the Denver Golden Nuggets, obviously. So I find that interesting. Hopefully gold doesn't trump my red and white, right? But no, I still have complete conviction in the Heat. But I did find that interesting that the 2 teams in the finals, or the 4 teams in the finals, is Florida, and they're going against gold. And there's literally only one gold team, that is called Golden, or their team is embodied, the team logo, mascot, whatever you want to call it. I guess their team name symbolizes gold, Nuggets. So that is interesting, but I'm still sticking with my Heat burns gold theory. People brought that up to me. How do you melt gold? Heat. And I do find that very nice too. You saw Messi coming to Miami, so there's some interesting things there. So yeah, there's a lot going on. But at the end of the day, I think it's a great time to get in on the Heat at plus 600. After Game 4, it's going to be right back to where it was, around plus 300. I could be wrong. I was wrong tonight. But yeah, I think Hero might be cleared. And now that they got pummeled so bad, I'm not as worried about him being cleared and people taking Miami because Hero's back. I really don't think people are going to. I think LeBron James could suit up for the Heat, and Nuggets would probably still get picked just because of how people are perceiving this series. So yeah, we missed tonight. Like I said, we were on one heck of a streak, and that's what's important, is hitting more than we miss. And I think we get right back on track. I think these Game 3, 4s are very interchangeable, kind of like 1 and 2 was. And I think we just, I had the Heat going 3 and then Nuggets 4. So now I think it's going to be, obviously it is Nuggets 3, Heat 4. And like I said, I might do a video because I have a feeling when the Heat win, I think they might blow out the Nuggets. I don't know why. The Nuggets just got a blowout. They've really followed suit with a lot of prior series with the Heat, I've noticed. As far as, obviously they went up 3-0 on the Celtics, but just the way they transitioned back and forth with the games, I could see the Heat responding with a blowout of their own. So we'll have to see. But as of now, yeah, I'd like the Heat in Game 4. We'll see what the spread's like. And this game, if you were really like, oh man, I'm not sure about the Heat, I would not let this game get you like freaked out or, anything of that nature. To me, it's obviously an important game, but it's not as if they went down 3-1 or something where there's really like historic, margins they'd have to beat. I know people are saying Game 3, 80% of wins. Coincidentally, the talking heads were all talking about Game 3s. So, again, all they're doing is showing us these historic stats that all favor the Nuggets. And I feel like it has to be for a reason. Oh, when they're up by this much, the Nuggets are 30 and 0. When it's a Game 3, it's 80%, team wins, they get it, and then Nuggets win. When this happens, when that happens, when the other thing, and Jokic gets a triple-double. All these things I think are setting up for Miami to do, again, the impossible. To not only come back from a deficit here, and probably a 3-2 deficit, that's what I believe, but also topple Jokic in Denver, probably while he gets a triple-double. Like, they're destroying so many stats this year that they can all go out the window, and I think it's just setting up to make Jimmy's story that much more impressive. So let me know what you think. Like I said, I know a lot of people believe in the Heat, and then I know there's a lot of people that really don't. I think more so that are, watching, believe in the Heat. At least I believe that it's going to be one heck of a series. Tonight might have changed some people's minds. It really didn't change mine. Again, establishing Denver as a powerhouse is definitely what they need to do. I had it flipped. I thought Game 4 they'd do it. But now I do believe that they might do it with Miami in Game 4, which also opens the possibility for alternate spreads and things of that nature. So take care, everybody, and happy earnings.